Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Triple Cross podcast. I'm here with my buddies John and the long-awaited return of one Carter at NBA District. Carter, how you been, man?
I've been good. How about you, man?
I can't complain, honestly. You know how we do. Just keep doing our podcasting thing. How about yourself?
Just been trying to get some Instagram expansion, YouTube expansion type of stuff going with the brand.
Love to hear it. Yeah, keep that hustle train going. John, how you been? I feel like I never really ask you. I just take you for granted. Like every week, we're here a couple times a week.
You do. I'm just like the ignored.
What's going on
like
inside your head?
I'm the ignored friend over here, just taking me for granted. You know, one of these days,
Yeah, man.
you're gonna come home and I'm not gonna be there. That's what's gonna happen.
No, don't say that. Don't say that, John. One day, John went out for cigarettes, and
they say John went out for milk and cigarettes and never back.
Yeah. All right, guys. Right off the rip here, I want to make sure I let you know about this awesome new giveaway we're doing. It's exclusive to members of our new private community on Grapevine. You can find the link to that in the description of this video, so go check that out. The prize is a custom NFL jersey or an NFL jersey of your favorite player or whatever you want to do. We let you choose the jersey or make a jersey of your own, value up to $200. So yeah, go check that out on Grapevine. It's free to enter, free to be a member of that community. So go check it out. Video description. The link is in the video description. The Grapevine one. You can also join us on Playback. That is for our in-episode giveaways for sports memorabilia. Join us on Playback. You can be a member there also for free. You can watch the show over there. It's on right now, streaming simultaneously with YouTube. But if you're watching from Playback, you get entered onto our wheel of prizes, which we will usually spin at least once during the episode and usually at least once after the episode. We go do a little post-episode party over there on Playback. John, am I forgetting anything, or can we get into business now?
I think we do we need to tell them how many likes and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, good call.
Every 10 likes on
Drop
the video?
a like on the video.
Yeah.
Every 10 likes on the video, that's when we will do a spin of said prize wheel for sports memorabilia gift cards. When we hit 20 likes on the video, that means we'll have 2 spins loaded up. So that means we'll do one on the episode at that point, and we'll save one for the end of the episode. If we had 30 likes, we'll do 2 during the episode and save one for afterwards maybe. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel while you're at it, and hit the bell icon to get notifications for whenever we go live or post a video on our channel. I think that's just about everything we need to do. Every link is in the video description to get entered into both giveaways. A lot of people just came on, so I'll say really quickly again, we have a new exclusive Grapevine giveaway going on for an NFL jersey. That is as simple as clicking through the link in the video description to Grapevine, signing up, and then you'll see in that first post. It's really easy. Michael already did it. He did it like 5 minutes after I made it live. He was on the ball. He's got those noties sent to his phone. So
Chris is asking what the Playback site is. So it's playback.tv/triplecross. It's also linked up below. But make sure you like it before. We're at 11 already. So we already owe one $25 gift card. As we get to 20, we will do a spin. Hannah Banana back for the second time in a row. Good to see you, Hannah. She was here for the first time last week, and she was a good time. She almost won Chat MVP, but we didn't do Chat MVP. But
we didn't. But we might today. You never know. So that goes out to the person who chats the best and the most often with us throughout the show. I'm going to go ahead and do we do a hard stop at the end to kind of cut off for our audio listeners. I think they probably don't need to hear everything we just said. So I'm going to pretend we started the show all over right now and go right into our stuff. Welcome back to the Triple Cross podcast. I'll go one more time. Take it one more time.
Before you take it one more time, we're at 18. Before you take it one more time, we're at 18 likes. Just wanted to throw that out there for everybody. 2 more and we'll do a spin.
I'm not actually mad at you, John. I couldn't ever stay mad at you. All right, guys.
I know.
Welcome back to the Triple Cross podcast. Today we're going to talk NFL and NBA. We're going to hit the NBA stuff first because Carter is here at NBA District. He is our NBA guy, one of our NBA guys. So we're going to hit on the NBA stuff while we have him, and he might have to skedaddle during this shoot. So we'll hit the NFL stuff afterwards. There's some cool stuff going on in the NFL universe finally. But let's hit up the NBA first. We have a couple games we'll get to. First things first, though, let's hit up some of this news. John, you were telling me before this episode started, before we started shooting, about Harden and Sixers situation and how it's blowing up. You want to tell me some more about that?
Yeah, and I mean, and Carter might be more plugged into more things than I am as well. But basically, Harden's doing the scorched earth campaign on the Sixers, which is crazy. Harden forced his way out of two teams at this point. He's forced his way out, and he's forced his way out of Brooklyn. And I think this is probably the most extreme, like, public thing he's done. He's forced out of two teams, and this is the most extreme thing he's done. At a camp in China, he basically just said, "What was the quote? Daryl Morey is a liar. I will never be a part of another organization that he's a part of." Daryl Morey is the president of basketball ops, I think, or head of basketball ops for the Sixers. Daryl Morey was also the GM of the Rockets. So he's like been him and James Harden go back. Like he's been a big James Harden kid for a long time. But yeah, so James Harden doing the scorched earth thing, basically trade me. Daryl Morey is a little bit notorious for like not trading players who want out if he can't get value. He's not holding them against their will or anything, but he's just like, I'm not going to trade them if I can't get the value, basically, is kind of his take on it. Carter, would you say that was an accurate summation, or do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think so. What I've been hearing is that like they never offered him a full extension is something that came out. And then I've seen people saying that Harden only accepted the player option with the intent of getting traded.
I've heard him say, he like accepted the player option, was cool with making less money to be on a contender and stuff, but then he's saying it was under the stipulation that then they would give him that super max, which is 200 mil over 4 years or 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think the Sixers are like, what? This is news to us. Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, other than like, I guess the fact that he's asked out of 3 teams now, but I think he's still like a top 20 player in the league when he's healthy, and his value is just so low. It's like the only offer that's like circulating is the Clippers saying, yeah, we'll give you Marcus Morris and Norman Powell. And obviously Philly won't want to do that.
Yeah.
But
so
like
yeah,
Hannah should be going after him.
Hannah says, first off, Harden isn't the dude he used to be. So I agree with Daryl Morey. Okay, maybe that's true. He doesn't score like he used to, but I actually think he's still relatively capable scorer, and he's evolved his game to like fit the situation. I mean, and given I've removed respect, like he played for Houston and I was a Jazz fan, I had a lot of hatred for James Harden. So hard to know. Like, I don't think he's as good maybe as he was but he's still very good and very valuable. Way more valuable than, what did you say it was? Marcus Morris? What?
And Norman Powell.
Yeah, way more valuable than Marcus Morris and Norm Powell. Like that, so yeah, attitude is, I mean, to me, it seems like attitude's pretty clearly like, no team's like, every team's like, yeah, we don't want that poison, Whatever.
So what are the ultimate ramifications of this, guys? Like, bottom line, what's this kind of mean? What's going to happen here?
I mean, probably
just more like
probably
NBA diva drama, or what?
Yeah, probably Philly will make it. Like, it doesn't seem like he's going to get a better offer. He'll probably have to play for Philly this year, and then he'll just be a free agent next year, and that's how it's going to go.
Man,
seems like he's just not going to play. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, there's a
if he sits out, what he lose? How much money does he lose if he sits out? Is it the full 30+ million of his contract?
That's a good question. I mean,
I feel like at that point, Philly would trade him though for Morris and Powell.
We could have a Jay Crowder situation. There is a possibility 35 million, whatever. It's 35 million. That's his contract for this year. I also don't know. Maybe there's fines in his contract, right? If he sits out, because with Jay Crowder, Phoenix sat him, right? So they're like, it wasn't a Jay Crowder holdout, or I guess we don't know. That's still pretty under wraps. We don't really know what happened there. But Phoenix, seems like was sitting him. They didn't want that vibe. James Harden is like basically going to be like, no, I am going on a 1-man strike. And like, that's it. And I don't know what kind of money that could cost him. He probably has enough to like be fine, but he'll also get pretty fat and his value will only go down.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, pretty significant story, if anything comes of it. I guess we'll just wait and see, hold our breath and see what happens. I do have a game prepared for you guys. I believe James Harden is involved, if I'm not mistaken. But if you guys have any other like news stories you want to throw out, now's a good time to do it. Otherwise, we can jump right into it. Up to you.
I do agree with what Hannah said on a parting shot. She said he's going to be on 1-year deals the rest of his career. I agree. He's a 1-year deal guy, and you can't sign him to any more than that. Any other things that came across your world, Carter, that you want to talk about?
Not off the top of my head.
Cool. Just a
All
quick
right.
reminder before we get into the game, though. We're at 18 likes on the video right now. At 20 likes, we'll do a spin, and I bet there's a couple people watching right now who haven't liked the video yet. So get the likes on the video. If we hit 20, we can hit 20 real quick, then maybe we just get a spin in before spin for a $25 gift card. Sorry, some people don't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe we get a spin in before we get the game going. I see 19, but I don't see 20.
Oh boy. One more. John, I sent you a message in the private chat. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it might just be on my side, but little bit of something going on there. Maybe it's just too many tabs open on your end. Not sure.
Okay.
Just airing it out there on the airwaves, as
Yep.
we do.
I
breaking
mean,
the
that's
fourth
how we
wall.
do things. You break the fourth wall.
I mean, why
Everybody,
not?
there's a private chat. You guys can't see it. Only we can see it. It's pretty cool. We talk about
There's currently 2 messages in it. That's it.
Yeah,
It was all just
talk about you
that was
guys
it.
in there. We're like that Hannah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think
Can you
about her?
believe that?
Can you believe her?
that? Can you believe we're 1 like away from doing a spin and we haven't hit it yet? Well, I guess we'll have to wait. We'll
Yeah,
start
we're
up
trying
the
to
game, I
stall.
suppose.
Trying
We'll
to stall for you
start
guys.
up the game against all odds. We do have audio listeners to think about. Let's get into this game, boys. We've done this before. It's a similar format, same format actually as the last time we did it. I didn't make this one, so I like having like plausible deniability of like where things are. Like, hey man, I just sourced this somewhere else. Hopefully it's all up to date as far as like these guys wearing the right jerseys, but at the end of the day, who cares? They're all good players. I'm gonna show you guys the board here and get ourselves. Oh boy, it's hard to get around this one. Here, let's put it.
Yeah, where are we gonna be here?
Let me do a little dance.
We have
Try to get
Lean
us
over here.
Boy, we are pretty small.
We
if
are
do
at
it this way.
we are at 21, so that's cool.
Okay, hey, we're
um,
at 21.
Do you want to do it now, or do you want to get into this game?
We should do one probably now, I think. Hey, look, I made us
Yeah.
tiny. and
Look
you
at
can
that.
see
You
around
made
it
us
now.
tiny. Yeah, I was trying to buy
Look
you
at
some
that.
time to do that.
Love
Yeah,
it.
do you want to do a spin
Teamwork.
right now then?
Sure.
All right, here's how it works.
I'll start
I'm gonna
making
give-
here. Maybe we start playing it, and I'll start making the wheel.
Okay.
Go ahead, John. Tell them how to explain it.
I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys how it works. So, in order to get in on this spin, we're gonna spin a wheel for a $25 gift card for some sports memorabilia, sports swag, jerseys, cards, things like that to DAP Sports, our partner. In order to get onto the wheel, you have to go over to playback.tv/triplecross. There's a link to that in the description. The show is live over there, so you can watch the show over there. You just go over there, watch the show. Everyone who's over there will get onto that wheel and will get entered to win that $25 gift card. Make sure you hit the like button before you head over there, because I think there's a chance we might hit 30 today. We hit 20 pretty early, honestly.
Yeah, I
So
think
there's a
we
chance we
could.
might hit 30. So if you haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit it first so that we get it to 30 if we can. So yeah, Casey's showing you the wheel right now. Mike and Deb are the only 2 people there.
No, they're
there's
not.
more
I
people.
just am in between names. I was just wanting to show people, what it looks like in case they haven't seen it before. Pretty
Yeah.
good odds of winning though. Usually, there's not too many names on said
yeah.
wheel. So
The frog, there's some names that you haven't seen yet, Carter, because you haven't been on for a while. That the Frog King is one of my favorite usernames.
Stands out for sure.
Yeah, I'm the Frog King. That's what they call me. It's what my friends call me.
Mhm.
James
all right,
Brown.
we'll give people a few minutes to kind of come over here after that pitch there. So maybe we can get into the game, and I'll check back in here in a few minutes as
Okay.
people are making their way over there, and then we'll
Yeah,
do
that's a good
that
call.
spin maybe during the game, maybe after the first couple rounds or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, this kind of works actually. If I leave that up,
Yeah.
and we just gonna
Lean a
There we
little
go.
bit.
yeah, just dig deep, boys. Okay, cool. I like this. Not really, but this is what we're doing. So, all right, guys. So, how do we determine the order here? Let me get a random number generator.
Okay. That works. Casey's got a
Yeah.
lot of stuff going on here.
I do. Yeah, this is it's all on me.
Good
So
times.
this is good here. We'll go 1 to 100, and let me present this tab instead, so everybody knows I'm not cheating, because there have been accusations in the past for
Yeah.
things such as this. All right, guys. Minimum
Put it
1,
on the
max
calculator?
100. Yeah, everybody put something in a place that you can't change it real easy.
No choosing. How about no choosing 50? Because
Okay.
I
Why
could
is
just
that?
see multiple of us choosing 50.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Sure. All right. Okay, I have my number. You guys let me know when you have your number.
Got it.
All right.
Got it.
Show it.
Oh, let's go get the whole top half.
Oh boy.
35. Do we?
Oh,
two
I
of
got a
us have
little
35?
window.
Wait, what do
I got
you have,
42.
Carter?
48.
Wow.
Yikes.
We are in a tight
right.
window here. Okay.
I am. So here we go. And the number is 46.
Ooh.
Is that still me?
Wow.
That is
Still
still
got
me.
edged
Still
out.
you. That's still you.
Oh.
That is a close.
I was 4 away and I still got edged
It actually
out.
split the yeah, like that. That's like a
Yeah.
nice pocket pass, that 46. Just like split the defenders with that thing.
So we'll go bottom to top here. It seems like Carter to me to John. So Carter, you will be first up on our grid here. Let's talk through this. What are you thinking, and what ultimately will be your pick?
My strategy here to start, I think, is to find like a top 10
What-
player that's not like that's worth less than $4, or a top 15 player worth less than 3 type of.
Yeah,
Really
high
quick,
value
let me
player.
just clarify the rules really quick because we've done this
Yeah.
in multiple ways. So
Yeah.
we don't need to grab one player from each line. I don't think. I think we can
Mhm.
play this within the $15 budget and just draft them however you see their value. So $15 budget. Keep that in mind as you're drafting.
So
Yep.
yeah, I think that the best value pick here is going to be like a borderline top 10 player going for $2. I'll grab Anthony Davis with my first pick.
Yeah. I mean, if it's for one game, that's great, you know, but if you got to play a whole season, then you're in trouble.
Well, he'll be all right.
All right, I'm gonna
All right, you're up.
keep track here as we go, guys. So Carter took AD. Yeah, I was eyeing this. I was thinking kind of similar. It's going to be about value. Who's the best value here? Super subjective, right? I think there is somebody who stands out to me as a guy that just has the will to win. Kind of showed it in the last playoffs here. I'm gonna go with the $3 Jimmy Buckets to start it off. I think that's a nice kind of start in the mid of the lineup a little bit, and I'm a little more versatile here too. So I like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
Jimmy.
I like that. I think there's there's 2 good value picks on that $3 line. Jimmy Butler is one of them, but it depends if we're playing regular season games or playoff games. Because if we're playing regular season games, then he belongs at $3. I think a person who basically just never belongs at $3 that's on that $3 line is Damian Lillard. So that's going to be
Yeah.
my first pick.
I knew you were
And
going
I think
that way.
there's specifically somebody directly above him who's overvalued that he should be there.
Yeah.
We didn't clarify this. Are we snaking here?
Yeah, we'll snake.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so
John,
I go again.
back on the
Fair.
clock.
Yeah. All right. So I got Dame. That's my value pick. Looking for another value pick on this board. I think I do see one, but I think if I'm doing my math right, we technically might not need to do a pick in this person's price range. So I would say my next value pick here. The $4 line is an interesting place because, yeah, I think I like Jason Tatum at $4, so I'm gonna go with Tatum with my second pick.
Okay. John has Dame and Tatum. The Damum. I don't know.
Tatum.
Can't-
I'm
Tatum.
dating him.
Tatum. All right. I don't
Yeah.
mind that. All right. I'm pretty torn on this one, honestly. I don't know exactly where I wanted to go, even as I'm saying this sentence right now. But I think it's pretty hard for me to pass up one guy in particular who kind of all costs be damned, just
Yeah.
might be the best value at any given moment. I'm going to go with Jokic.
Okay.
Jokic
I was
is going to be
considering
my
Jokic.
Yep.
next guy. Yeah, I didn't want you to have a chance, honestly.
Okay. I think I'm gonna need to grab a $5 here at some point. Would the math work out? Ooh. 2. Okay.
Math just hit Carter like a ton of bricks there. Just
Math
like,
hit
man,
him.
That's
Math is
what I mean.
math is a fickle lady. I don't know if we're at 10 minutes yet. Oh yeah, we
Okay.
are. Math
Yeah,
is a
we
fickle
are.
bitch.
yeah, it is.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab the second best player in basketball then and take Giannis. Oh, I have 2 picks. That's right.
Ooh.
I'm gonna take Giannis, and then I'll have $8 left for 3 players.
Yeah.
Will it work
All right.
out to where I can?
You're snaking right now, by the way.
Yeah. So I can go there. Then I can go either of those. And then okay. We're spending the big bucks at the turn here, and I'm also grabbing Steph.
Oh wow.
Ooh,
You're gonna
Steph's off
grab
the board.
two $5 players. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Back to you, Casey.
All right. Well, I can see this going a certain way from here, and it makes me uncomfortable, if I'm being honest with you. So wait, Carter, you took Giannis and Steph there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, man, all right. I'm not gonna lie, one of those picks, it hurt. It hurt a little, but we're okay still. We're okay. We're holding up over here. I'm gonna do something that I think just needs to be done here. Not thrilled about it, but I think I think it's gonna upset you guys both at the same time, which is kind of a win all in and of itself. I'm gonna go with the $1 value of Don Mitchell
$1 valor
on the squad. Yeah, Carter ruined
That's
my
all
master
right.
plan already, but I'm gonna take the value there.
That's a good $1 value.
Yeah, that's a top 15 player for $1. So
Yep. Okay, so $5 players that are off the board are currently Giannis, Jokic, Curry. So I'm actually going to stay away from the $5 line. Casey's the only one who can even afford another $5 player, and I'm pretty okay with Luka or KD if they're still there. So I'm going to grab my other value picks here. So I've used $7. So right now I'm going to do a $2 pick and a $1 pick. So my $1 pick is going to be Kyrie. That's another really undervalued guy, I think.
okay.
$1. And my $2 pick is going to be Jaylen Brown. And I am going pretty small here.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding, you are. But you got.
I mean,
teammates.
there's a lot of options. If I want size, unless you take Embiid, which I don't think you're going to, I can still take Embiid. I can still take KD and just say, hey, I'm playing a Tatum KD forwards, and then I'm playing like Brown as a like sort of a guard forward. So it's just a small ball lineup. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I get it. I like it. Well, I'm at kind of a crossroads here. I'm sitting at Butler, Jokic, and Don right now. So, yeah, I'm looking at $9 right now.
I mean, Casey
6
needs at
to
least
go.
one more big man in order for him to fill out a team.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens or not. I don't really know, honestly. I'm gonna
Better
go
grab
with,
Gobert.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know if that's where I'm going, honestly, man. I have Jokic. He's as good as 2 big men if I need him to be. Maybe
Yeah.
I stay
Except on
on
defense.
the European thing here and maybe just take the best guy left on the board. I don't know. I'm gonna go Luka here. I'm gonna take Luka.
Okay.
All
So
right,
you have
so
Luka, Jokic, and Don. That's your players. And who?
Jimmy.
And Jimmy.
So you only have basically $1 left, right?
I do indeed.
So you have to take someone off the $1 line now. All right, got it.
I do.
So you need Zion. I don't need Zion, so you're going to go ahead and be able to get Zion. So I've already locked myself into my power forward and center, drafting Giannis and AD. I really don't want to move Giannis to the 3. I was really eyeing Mitchell, Kyrie, and Jalen, and they all went. in the
Frog King, I
last
already
4
have Kyrie.
picks.
Frog King's telling you to get Kyrie. I already have him.
I totally would have grabbed Kyrie or Mitchell if they were here. But I need a 2 and a 3, and I have $3. So really, the only way to do that is to grab James Harden and Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can do with the $3 you have left. Booker, I would say Booker's actually kind of an undervalued 2 on here.
He is, yeah. I think he's
Just
borderline
not
top
quite
10
enough,
$50.
not quite enough undervalued to like for any of us to spend our money on him.
I was thinking around him too. There was a different strategy I almost took, but I did look at Carter's team, and Carter, you saw right through me. That was exactly kind of what I was banking on. Say what you will about him, but Zion rounds out my team in the way I need him to, at least. So, and for $1, the price is right. So that's where I'm going there. Wait, Carter, who were your last 2 picks?
Ingram and Harden.
And Harden. Okay, perfect. Got it. And John, finish it off for us, buddy. One last pick.
So I just need one pick here.
One pick.
And I have $5 to get him, so I guess I'll just take KD.
Well, you have Dame. Do you have 5? I don't know. I wasn't keeping track of that for you.
Yeah, so I have Dame, Tatum, so that's 7, and then I have
Kyrie 8.
Kyrie 8,
and Brown
Jaylen
2.
Brown.
10. Yep. So you have 5 left.
So I could go KD or Embiid. I'm small, but I don't really want Embiid, honestly. I would rather have KD, and he's big. He's long. Like, he can defend. Him and Tatum can both defend big. Like, they can.
KD,
switch.
your 5, your center.
Yeah, to him or Tatum. Like, I'm positionless, man. I'm positionless.
Like, ultimately.
No, I'm not. Don't constrain me to the traditional positions of basketball.
80
Carter.
and Giannis are just gonna have a field day down there. I don't know.
How about
Nah,
this, John?
Tatum can defend big. KD can switch big. KD's a good defender. Tatum is
All
a
right,
really
boys.
good defender.
For the poll in the chat, list them off in an order you want them to be. I mean, 1 through 5 makes sense, but like if they're kind, you know what I mean? Like give us an order at least so we can put it out there in a format for the people.
Oh, okay. So I'll go. Kyrie, Dame. Who was my other people?
Kyrie, Dame,
Kyrie,
Tatum,
Dame,
Jalen, and KD.
Kyrie, Dame, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, KD.
All right, Carter, you want to let me know what yours are? 1 through 5.
Yeah, we got Steph, Harden, Ingram, Giannis, and AD.
Yeah, a lot of people are throwing theirs in there, which is it's a little different when you can just choose whoever you want.
Yeah.
I'll read some of
Yeah.
the ones that
Go
I
ahead, John.
and like I'll kind of like just decide who is good, who did good. So somebody said AD, Curry, Butler, Embiid, Ingram. I mean, to me, it makes no sense to grab Ingram if you like aren't forced into him by a draft. You know what I mean?
You get Zion at the 4 there if you
So this is more along the lines of what I would do if I wasn't forced into certain picks by a draft. Curry, Tatum, Kyrie, Lillard, AD. I mean, you have basically 3 point guards there, but 3 really ball dominant point guards. But I mean, you have 5 really good basketball players. AD, Luka, Lillard, Tatum, Kyrie. I think that's probably the best one I've seen so far. That was Chris Vant. Luka, Tatum, Butler, Harden, and Mitchell. Again, I don't know why you would go with Harden if you weren't forced into him.
Tatum, Harden. Tatum's the center there.
It's because you need. It's because you did. It's because you wanted Luka and Tatum, and so then you had to buy budget on everybody else. You had to take a $2 pick, but I don't know why you wouldn't take Jaylen Brown over Harden personally. Miguel, let's see, Kyrie, Mitchell, Butler, Giannis, Jokic. That's might be the best one so far.
All right, guys. All right, so I'll list mine off. I suppose that I'm going Luka, Don, Butler, Zion, Jokic with mine.
Yeah.
Feels like the best moves there. And I'm going to drop those into the chat now just because when we just say them out loud, it's hard for people to kind of keep them in mind. So I'm going to drop them into the chat right now, and I'm going to let the chat vote in our poll that I'm also going to put up at the same time. So here are the raw. Wow, that formatting really broke down on me, YouTube chat. Thanks.
Yeah.
But I think you guys can read through that, even though it's terrible looking. It's cool. Nice job, YouTube.
Sorry,
Anyway,
I'm throwing
you guys
something
can at
right
least
behind you too.
Make out what's going on there. Yeah, and John, letting everybody know that you can win $25 gift cards to DAP Sports for some sports memorabilia. And we're going to do one of those spins right now to get on the wheel that we will spin to see who the winner of that gift card is. You just need to head over to Playback, which the link to that is in the video description as well. So join us over on Playback. We're going to do one spin right now. There'll be more at the end of the show, though. All right, let's go ahead and shift over to that then. So let me pull off this graphic. And we already have the wheel there. Let me make sure I add any new names. Looks like we do have some people who came over since
This
then.
is for a $25 gift card. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you got to go to playback.tv, /TV/playback. That was wrong. playback.
Triplecross.tv/playback. Wait. Oh yeah, you
Slash-
typed it in wrong.
Playback.
Okay,
Playback.tv/triplecross.
Disregard
a link in the
that
description.
overlay that was on the screen.
Playback.tv/triplecross. In the link in the description. That's how you get on this wheel. Someone on this wheel is going to win $25. The show is on over there. You don't have to, if you're like, well, but I want to watch. That's fine. You just go watch over there.
Deedly
it's
do. I do see
Deedly-do.
4 visitors on right now, so
If you can hop in the
you-
chat and let us know who you are, that's helpful. Because we can't always like see you on here.
right, yep. Which Sean, Felix, and Miguel all just did. So thanks for doing that, guys. Add me on the wheel, please. Says J Dog. Absolutely.
I can probably
My
I can
pleasure.
probably share the. Oh, you're already sharing something. I can't share something also.
I am indeed. I feel like the wheel is pretty valuable real estate for the screen.
Yeah.
People like the wheel for some reason or another. I don't
Carter,
know.
who's your early favorite to win this spin, Carter?
I feel like the Frog King's too easy of a pick.
I know.
He's
This
already
is, like,
royalty.
so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So gotta grab some sleeper here.
And,
I like James Brown. You know, he's got soul and he's super bad. So
I think
Yeah.
I'm leaning J Dog. I like that.
J-Dog.
name.
yeah,
J-Dog.
okay.
good name.
I'm gonna go with one of our new favorites. You're
going with Hannah.
People. I'm gonna go with Hannah. Hannah, late entry. And I like it. So, all right, guys. 30-second warning here before I do the spin, since we still have some people who are jumping over here and asking to be put on the wheel. So, in 30 seconds, yeah, make sure you vote on the poll. Let's see if we have any results yet. Maybe people were really quick with their votes.
Oh yeah, I guess I can.
Oh, we
look
have
up.
6 votes in already. Oh, you guys are not gonna like the way this.
You're up.
The vote is trending.
You're up. Well, we can't do
am.
the play. People in playback can't say though. So playback people, you guys just have to say who you think has the best team, but they can't really see the.
No, they can still. I mean, they can go to YouTube and vote. I mean, they can. I think a lot of them do.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
it's all right.
We're already telling people to come over here. You know,
Drop
hop
it
around.
into playback. I suppose is a good way to say it.
Yeah.
It's good, but I do feel like you're kind of stacking the deck. You're preparing yourself for the ultimate blow here.
What do you mean? You think they'll vote for me more? In
No, I'm
playback?
running away. Maybe, yeah, maybe they might.
No, I don't think they're any more likely to vote for me than the YouTube people are.
All right.
I
Fair
think you're
enough.
a fan favorite, man. I think they're just going to be like, I want Casey to win. So even if I don't think he has the best team,
I like Felix's
Felix,
reasoning
yeah.
here.
Do you
Casey
cater?
does
To,
with
you knew
Luka
who you
and
were catering
Jokic.
to. You knew what you were doing.
I mean, I
Sally-
knew I was getting Felix's vote for sure.
Sally G on YouTube is asking if she's in on the giveaway. You have to go to playback.tv/triplecross. There's a link to that in the description of the video.
Mhm.
When you go over there, then you get in on the giveaway wheel. We still will do another one after this. So if you don't get over there in time this time, that's fine. You'll still get in on the next one.
Yep, which we will have. How are we looking on the light count here? Are we at? I
We're at
see
23.
23. Perfect. Cool. So yeah, we might hit a third spin as well.
We're at
So
LeBron.
tell people to like the video whenever new people jump in here. So cool. All right, let me check in here. I don't see anybody else who's new.
Adam, did you
so
add Adam?
Oh, I missed Adam. Okay, sorry, Adam. Wait. Oh, Adam's not on the list. That's weird. Adam always
Yeah.
shows up. That's strange. All right. Sorry, Adam. It's just like second nature. I thought you already were on there. So, all right, guys. I think that's everybody.
Hannah's just
yeah, I'm
trying to
not
be.
seeing-
Hannah says we all have great squads. She's just trying to not make anybody. Hannah, just don't worry about it.
Come on.
You just
This is
you
a
tell-
sports
you,
podcast. This-
you tell. Yeah, you vote. You vote with your heart here. All right.
After this spin, we might have Carter for a little bit longer. I don't know how much longer, but if we do have you for enough, we'll go right into our football version of the same game. So, all right, guys, without further ado, because we only have Carter for a limited amount of time, here comes
Let's
your
finish.
spin, and there are no visitors in playback, so perfect. For $25 to DAP Sports for sports memorabilia. Good luck, all. And
Who did I say again?
Our past J Dog.
our winner
Adam!
is, and it is Adam. Okay.
Adam.
The rich get richer on Triple
The rich
Cross.
get
Adam,
richer.
our all-time leading prize winner, is
He's probably up at like 25 wins at this point.
yeah. The man has banked hundreds of dollars of sports memorabilia. off of this podcast, and we're happy to do it for him because he shows up to everything. So thanks to Adam for being such a good viewer and for being on everything that we do pretty much. And yeah, I know that he's thankful for the stuff he gets too. So it's a good two-way relationship. Everybody be like Adam. Just be on everything we do, and you'll win a lot of stuff.
You win lots of stuff. Yeah, that's how you do that.
It's that easy.
All right, Casey, we switching gears.
Stick around. We are going to do more. We are going to do more spins later in the show,
Yep.
and I'll plug it again just in case somebody didn't hear it before. We have another exclusive giveaway going on Grapevine, our other VIP platform. The link to that is in the video description. The prize is an NFL jersey, so that'll be a very exclusive giveaway. High likelihood of winning for everybody who enters since it's super exclusive. So go on over there, and we will see you on Grapevine as well. We'll do more spins on playback after the show, but right now it's NFL time. It is time to switch it over, y'all. Carter, are you going to be with us for another 10-20 minutes maybe?
Yeah, I'll do the NFL draft.
All right, let's do this. All right, so same format, nothing new to explain here. Little bit different vibe. This is not current players like the NBA was. That's okay because we've been doing a lot of fantasy content lately, things like that. So this time we are going to do this kind of legends of the sport, if you want to say, still kind of modern era types. Oh, now I already made a super small in this. Hold on, let me fix this for us guys. We don't want to be super tiny, I don't think, the whole time here. So yeah, basically the same format, but some names that you'll definitely know and some that you might not remember quite as well, honestly. John, what's your first impression of this group of guys when you look at it without giving away anything for the draft?
They're all old.
They're all
That's my first
old.
impression.
Okay.
I mean, Gronk and Tom Brady aren't that old, but these are all. I mean, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning. A lot of these
They're
guys are
pretty
like
old. I think we have two current players in here, and they're old
D-Hop.
for players. D-Hop and
D-Hop
Julio.
and Larry. Oh, Julio's in there.
No, Larry's retired, but Julio technically, I don't know if he's on a roster right now or not, but I think he's still technically in the game. Hasn't formally retired yet. So
we got 15 to build this lineup as well.
yeah, same thing. Build the lineup with $15. We'll do it the same style. Once somebody's gone, they're gone. Do you guys just want to like reverse the order so it's kind of fair, or do you want to redo?
Reverse order.
Reverse order. So I would go first. Yeah, we could
You
do
guys
that.
like that? Okay.
Yeah.
John, since it would be you first, then take it away, I suppose. Talk us through what you're thinking.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't really ready to go first, but before
You got a long time to wait before your next pick, so
before I make my pick, actually, there might be some new people here on YouTube. I've just kind of seen some people file in. So if you've not been with us before, I'll let you know the deal. Every 10 likes on the video, we give away a $25 gift card. So we're at 24 right now. If you haven't liked the video yet, then like it, because in 6 more likes and we'll do another $25 gift card giveaway.
Oh, I do want to say one thing here. We have to at least establish this before we start. There are 2 receiver lines. Clearly, this is a little different. I'm cool with letting them all be jumbled up. You just have to take 2. But if you guys,
I guess positionally, what do we have to take here?
One of each of them, except 2 receivers. But we could either do 1 receiver from each line, and you have to stick to that, or I'm fine with us jumbling it all up if that's what you guys like.
I think just stay on. I think just stay on budget as long as you fill the positions.
Okay, so 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 1 tight end, and 2 receivers. The receivers can be from whatever line. So gives us a little flexibility.
What's interesting on this board is that nobody's jumping out at me as like really undervalued. On the NBA board, there was like definitely undervalued players. Like the only person I'm really looking at as maybe undervalued is like T.O. But even then, it's like he's like the 3rd best receiver of all time, basically. So he's not really undervalued. So on that note, I think I'm just going to go ahead and just take my $5 pick and take the GOAT, Tom Brady.
Oh, starting out strong. Different strategy from the last one. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to look for value. I just don't see as much like really like, oh, there's some obvious value right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to do the same thing here. John, you want to maybe wrap up our last poll for me?
Yeah.
If you have that open. If not, no big deal.
Yeah, you won, by the way.
Thanks. I mean, I tried really hard. I
Yeah.
didn't think that would be the case.
The
but-
non-basketball guy won. That's just, I mean,
Hey, you never know.
the
This
Euro
one-
combo. The
winning
Euro
this one.
combo. There's a lot of recency bias on the Euro combo, so I think that was a good
For
move,
sure.
honestly, in this draft. Yeah.
I was just trying to manage. All right, so it
Yeah.
looks like I'm up next. I kind of agree with you, John. I think the board is pretty fair here. There is somebody who stands out to me as pretty criminally underrated here, and it just happens to be probably one of my favorite positions in the sport. Go with one of the most fun players to ever watch play, LT LaDainian Tomlinson, for $1 at running back. I mean, what a deal to me. That's a lot of great running backs there. Only one of them costs $1, and I will take him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it might be a strategy to grab a cheap running back because I feel like the other positions just tend to mean more. But if the $1 is off the board, I don't know if it really matters. I wouldn't hate if I got forced into picking Jim Brown because Browns fan.
Right.
I do feel like, from what I've seen, because I'm not huge into football, I feel like Antonio Brown is a little better than $2 from what I've heard. Prime AB. So I'll go ahead and grab Prime AB. And then I think we'll wait on the other receiver. And we'll just we'll spend another cool $2, and I'm going to take Shaden Sharp because he's a dog and he's funny.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp, great pick.
And he's only $2.
Yeah,
I think that was
Good value pick.
that was probably the tight end value that I was looking at the most there. So way to take that off the board, take it away. Knowing the draft, knowing who's drafting behind you, he wasn't going to make it back to you, I don't think. Probably out of with 4 picks between me and John in between us. So good pick there, man. Through one round, 1 1/3 rounds. Oh yeah, I guess we did have a receiver go off. So yeah, a little bit of everything off the board, one from each position. Interesting, man. I mean, I'm all in a fluster here. I don't know where I want to go. Most positions, I kind of don't mind where I would land at all. I'm kind of wondering where I'm going to end up spending. So let's go ahead and just secure this while we can. Let's go ahead and spend up, get our guy, the actual GOAT, according to my argument for sports, Jerry Rice. I mean, what kind of Niners fan would I be if I didn't take 80? Jerry Rice, he's my guy. John, you're on the clock with Tom Brady on the squad.
So I went with a strategy here, a risky strategy, and it paid off. Basically, Casey would not take a Cowboy, and then I just banked on Carter not taking Emmitt Smith on the snake, which was risky because Emmitt Smith is a really high value at $2. I mean, statistically, maybe the best running back of all time, probably the best running back of all time statistically. So yeah, I'm going to take Emmitt Smith off the board, $2. I tried not to leak that I was looking at that and like, I think that's a very high value. Because I wanted Tom Brady. But yeah, it worked out, man. I knew Casey wouldn't take him. Good value pick though too. Okay, so Emmitt Smith got him off the board, so that's a $2 pick for me. I'm sitting at $7, and I need both my receivers and a tight end. All right, what do I like in terms of value receivers here? I mean, as a Vikings fan, I think I guess I could just take both receivers right now.
Well, you only have 1 pick left right now.
Oh, that's true. As a Vikings fan, I'm going to take Randy Moss. I'm going to take a Vikings Randy Moss for sure.
Okay.
So there I am. I'm at $11.
Fair enough. And similar to Carter, good thing you did because he wasn't going to make it back to you. So I like that there. Okay, I'm sitting with LT and Jerry Rice on the squad. And I guess my thoughts are, so what am I at for 1 and 5? So 6 for my budget. Still 9 left for 3 players. I'm doing good. I'm kind of right on pace here, which makes me, man, there's a lot of good receivers there. There's a lot of good everything there, though. Oh, man, I'm in knots here. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think what I'm going to do actually is take my Yeah. I'm going to. No, I still don't know. I said yeah, while I didn't know, just pretending I knew and just hoping it would come out of my mouth. And this is still just me buying time. But I think I am going to take my next receiver and go with T.O. We'll go with the San Francisco stack. We'll go with T.O. I think it'll be popular in the polls as well. So doesn't hurt my feelings there.
I see. And I can see where you're going with it too. You might get a trifecta.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Carter, you're up 2 picks to you, sir. You have AB and Shannon Sharp, which means you got a lot of money to spend still. You've only spent up $4. You got 11 to go.
So I'll take running back with my last pick because you guys both have one.
Smart.
And since I'm that pick's gonna be Jim Brown. I have to take Jim Brown at some point. So we're gonna slot that in later, which means I have $7 to spend at the turn here between a receiver and a quarterback. Okay.
Good draft strategy by Carter, being aware of the board.
And then what? Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Terrell
T.O.
Owens, and
off
AB
the
are
board.
gone.
Oh, and AB, yeah, but he's on your team, so.
Okay. I'm definitely thinking either Montana or Manning at quarterback, which means a 3 or a 4 at receiver.
Can I give you some advice? Just to spite Casey, you should take Joe Montana.
Can he get him still?
Yeah, he probably can.
I could make it work, yeah.
Yeah, he probably can, and that would give him his Niners trifecta.
So if I were to go Joe Montana, I'd have to go Julio, and if I were to go Peyton Manning, I'd have to go Calvin Johnson.
So it depends who you like. I'm 6s between those two.
Yeah, screw it. We'll go Joe and Julio.
Joe and Julio. I like it. Way to go.
So Carter's roster is full, right? No,
Yeah,
well, all
Jim
but
Brown.
We know where he's going.
Be Jim Brown. Yeah.
Yep. So a little anticlimactic when we snake back around. But yeah, $7 well spent. Okay. So let's see here. That means I basically have to defend against John's 2 picks if I care about that at all. I'm sitting at LT, Jerry Rice, and T.O. So a lot of skill position going on there. A lot of ball carriers going to do some work with the ball in their hands. Pass him the rock. John's got Brady, Emmett, and Moss. I need a quarterback. He's got a quarterback, so I don't need to worry about that. I also need a tight end. There is one I would like to protect myself and get now so that John can't take him. Let me just double check my math real quick here. I'm at LT1 Rice. Makes 6. T.O. That makes 9. That means I have 6 left, and my plan will work. I'm going to go with a man who at his peak was about as good as you can possibly be as a tight end, and he had the luxury of kind of retiring early and deciding his own fate, coming back a little bit, making a comeback attempt. None other than Rob Gronkowski, busted from the that UC? What's that? The insurance, whatever. We're gonna go with Gronk. Gronk's the pick.
Gronk's the pick. Well, you were defending Gronk from me, but if you were doing my math, you would have known that I can't pick Gronk because I have $4 left and I have to pick 2 guys. But it's all right. So
that's okay. The quarterback was already taken, so I'm safe.
Yeah, I can go some ways now. So I have to get a tight end and I need another receiver. So I'm one of 2 things here. I'm either Chris Carter and Witten, and I have $1 left over, or I'm D-Hop and Antonio Gates. So I'll just go with the.
Wait, you don't want Hudson? You don't want?
Yeah,
you don't want.
I'm not really an Undon Hudson. He played over 100 years ago. So
I mean,
I don't know
classic.
how
he's a legend.
He's the Dolph Shays of this sport.
Love it.
D-Hop and Antonio Gates might be maybe objectively better, but I'm going to go with the Vikings bias. I already have Randy Moss, a Chris Carter, Randy Moss stack with Tom Brady at quarterback feels really good to me. And I mean, tight end, you really don't even have to activate your tight end if you don't want to. So I'll go with Chris Carter and Witten. So that gives me Braden, or that gives me Brady, Smith, Moss, Carter, and Witten.
Yeah, John, you drafted in order of position actually too. Very interesting because I was about to order your picks and I realized they're already in the right order. So good job there. The QB that I was kind of, I know you thought you got me with the Joe Montana thing. I thought about that at the beginning. I was going to skew, I think, more towards a more modern quarterback. We just throw the ball more. And if there is a value there, I like Breeze at 2. That's kind of how I backed into the Gronk thing at tight end. I wanted the best tight end I could afford. And I'll take Drew Brees. So my final lineup ends up being Drew Brees, LaDainian Tomlinson, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, and Rob Gronkowski. That's my squad. Carter, we know where you're going, but let's make it official.
Jim Brown.
Yeah.
Love it.
Why didn't any of us want Hudson?
Is that a Browns helmet on him or a pumpkin?
It looks like a Steelers helmet. He played in the era where they did not have face masks, so that's something.
Yeah, dude's tough. Probably the toughest guy on the board.
He's probably the toughest dude for sure. Like 100%, he is. Yeah, no doubt.
All right, so just like the last one,
13.
He was born in 1913, so he played less than 100 years ago, but not much. It's like 90 years ago, probably.
He retired in, let's see, what's Football Reference? He retired in 45.
So how many years did he play?
Like 10, 11.
He played 10 or 11 years. Receivers were built
1935 to 1945.
Receivers were built different back then.
He averaged 110 yards a game one year, which is just like so much higher than his other years. Like he led the league in his second year. He led the league in yards per game with 44.7, and then
where's Rose when
career, he averaged 110.
Where's Rose when you need her? She would be able to tell us about Don Hudson. Can anyone here tell us about Don Hudson, other than Carter just reading off of Football Reference? You have to be a deep historian to know
He's
that.
on the Hall of Fame all 1930s team. What an accolade.
What an accolade.
Oh boy.
Don Hudson is the Dolph Shays of the NFL. Meaning the
all right,
GOAT.
guys, just like last time, I'll leave the board up for a second just so you can make sure you know who we're talking about. Just like last time, I posted our teams into the chat and I put a poll into the chat as well. So feel free to vote there on whose squad you think is best. And let's talk a little bit. Carter, if you have to pop out, feel free to whenever you need.
I will be popping out. I'll probably just pop out right now.
All right.
Okay. We'll let you know if you won the poll.
Good. All right.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
All right. Probably not.
Later,
We'll
Carter.
see.
Everybody
Actually,
check
if
out
you won the
Carter
poll,
at
we'll
NBA
text.
Next
We won't text you specifically. We won't text you if you won.
We'll be like, get out of
We'll
here.
pretend
Okay.
you didn't. Okay.
All right.
All right. Carter's gone. John, how did that draft feel to you?
Dude, I feel like I hope I won it.
You might have. Maybe
if you go Tom Brady with Rice with like Moss and Carter and Emmitt Smith, your tight end doesn't even matter. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the theme of the day. Maybe I won the basketball one. Maybe you win the football one. That's kind of wild.
Brady
maybe
DeMoss
get a
is
little too.
Brady DeMoss is a known connection.
Sure, yeah. Maybe we get a little too attached to certain players and stuff instead of like playing like kind of the pure value game when it's our own sport. I don't know. That feels like kind of just like it's probably true to some degree anyway. But at the same time,
I think one thing that I do in football is like Chris Carter's at a $2 value. I'm like, I don't know how to evaluate that at all. Cause there was a time in my life when I was really into football where Chris Carter was legitimately my favorite player. Like,
yeah, he was amazing.
When Chris Carter and Randy Moss were on the same team, I actually liked Chris Carter more. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to evaluate that because he definitely wasn't better than Randy Moss, all said, but is $2 like a high value for him, a low value? I don't know how other people think about Chris Carter,
Yeah, no, I mean, Chris Carter is he was the best receiver ever on the Vikings until Randy Moss came along. And unfortunately, he's kind of a footnote now compared to Randy.
I know.
Just because of Randy's play style, I want to say, even more than just how good he was.
Yeah,
but that's what happens, man. That's what happens, especially when you do see him on the field at the same time. There's something like the old and busted new hotness. You know
New
what I mean?
hotness,
And
yeah.
unfortunately, in that scenario, probably the only scenario ever in his entire life, Chris Carter was old and busted. But pretty good company he keeps. And yeah, you have that proven tandem there. Similar to how I have, I guess, Rice
right.
and T.O. probably didn't suit up at the same time. But
I'm gonna get your instant reaction to some of the people who put teams together, $15 teams together in chat. So we got J Dog. This is in the playback chat. J Dog. Elite offense would be Breeze, Smith, Rice, Jerry. Jerry who?
Rice.
He already
What?
said Rice.
where
Breeze, Smith, Rice, Jerry, whoever Jerry is, and Gates.
He meant Jones, not Jerry.
Oh, he meant Jones. Okay. Breeze, Smith, Rice, Jones, and Gates. Another one, I'd go Marino, Sharp, and Megatron. That's only 3 people. Oh, Marino, Sharp, Megatron, Barry, and CC. Okay. Brady, Peyton, Moss, Brown, Witten. Brady, Tomlinson, Moss, Brown, Gronk. What do you like out of there? Manning, Sanders, Sharp, Moss, Hop.
Yeah. Man, depends. I like those last 2 a lot. I got to say, those are probably the 2 that stand out. Brady, Tomlinson, Moss, Brown, Gronk, and Manning, Sanders, Sharp, Moss, D-Hop. Those 2 stand out the most to me.
A more modern quarterback. Yeah. Marino and Montana feel a little bit not right. You know what I mean?
It does feel like a little bit of a miss to completely punt the tight end position. Because, usually tight ends aren't that involved. But when you have a guy like nobody is even including Tony Gonzalez at all in the equation here. But I think
most people would say that Gronk is the best tight end ever, not Tony Gonzalez. You know what I mean?
Well, nowadays it's probably Travis Kelce, really. So, but yeah, on this list,
he's active.
Maybe, yeah. Especially with the chance to pair him with Tom Brady, there's something that just makes a lot of sense. But I mean, when you're talking about a Tony Gonzalez, talking about a Gronk, even a Gates, Sharp, even a Witten, those guys are not just punted positions. They're guys.
If you were unencumbered by a draft format, what would be your A1 lineup off of this board?
It'd probably be Brady, Sanders, Jerry Rice, and Randy Moss. And
wait, no, not by. You still have the budget. You still have to work with.
Oh, sorry. What was the? Yeah. What was? What
so it's just not a draft. You just get to take your. You have to build a. $15
just 15. Oh, okay. I see. Sorry about that. Wow. Okay. Off the spot. I'm still gonna love the value of LT then for sure. I think that's the best value. So $1 there helps out a ton. If I want to splurge anywhere, it still is probably in those receivers. I probably would go Rice and Moss. So 9, that's 10. So I have $5 left to handle QB and tight end. I would probably at that point then go Shannon. I would say probably Shannon, Sharp, and Peyton at that point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gates
Sharp,
Peyton, Gates, Breeze. I think those are
Manning and Breeze to me about a push, and I think if there is anything out of order, I like what Sharp can do over Gates, maybe.
Yeah, but you have that nostalgia of those '90s Broncos for sure.
Well, no, just different archetype. Like Sharp is more of an athletic guy. Gates is more of a possession guy at tight end. So
but
for that reason,
with Ross, with Rice and with Ross and Moss, maybe a possession guy is what you need.
I mean,
I don't care. Just more firepower. Give me more firepower. I'm fine.
Maybe. And also Peyton over Breeze. I probably would give him the nod, if having both available. So
Peyton, I think so.
Yeah, so that makes sense to me.
Wait, that would Peyton be my best paired with Peyton would have been paired with Sharp. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Did anybody say Did anybody say that? No, nobody had that.
No, nobody said that
answer,
one.
I don't think.
All right, so a couple.
Adams was pretty close though. I like Adams a lot with the Brady and Gronk connection with LT and Moss and Brown. But I mean, with so many receivers on there, Antonio Brown is incredible. But I don't know if all time, I'm putting him in quite that tier.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe that's some recency bias too because he's crazy. But
all right, what else we got here today? Or can I hit you with a few things from the chat and then we can.
Let's hit up some NFL news because it's
somebody asked about Dalvin Cook to the Jets. So go. Yep. That's on our stuff. Go ahead.
Perfect. So let's start there. Actually, Dalvin Cook. So the real main thing about this is the RBs are finally falling onto squads, which is what we've been waiting for all offseason. This is way behind the schedule for what most people thought it would be. But yeah, Dalvin Cook finally signed, and to a team that was definitely in the mix for him. He went to the Jets. So now, if you're watching Hard Knocks, which I highly recommend, I've seen the one episode. I think the next episode comes out tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I think week 2 is tonight. If you've been watching that, you know there's a lot of names already to watch in New York, with Aaron Rodgers being the new quarterback there. They already had an elite running back in Breece Hall, who's coming off of an injury from last year, rookie running back. He could have been up for Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, until he got hurt. But who passed him up? None other than his teammate, Rookie of the Year on the offensive side, Garrett Wilson, a star receiver. So that's going to be Aaron Rodgers' number 1 guy. So basically, that's just on the offense. They're looking pretty stacked with Dalvin Cook added to all that. That's just incredible amount of firepower, and they're already one of the best defenses in the league anyway. So they're entering contender space for sure.
Yeah.
No matter whether you like
if they
them or
weren't
not.
if they weren't the Jets, I would be sold on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not the Browns, so like,
Yeah,
they can be good.
but they're still the Jets.
They are still the Jets. They're very new look Jets, and this isn't even new to me. It's not just about good players moving there. Good players are great to have, obviously, but I've been on this train for a few years now, having one of the coordinators from San Francisco go be the head coach there. The culture has been turning around. They've become more of an elite defensive team. They've got Sauce Gardner, who was also the defensive rookie of the year last year, one of the best corners in football already. They have a couple of guys on that D-line that are absolute freaks of nature. They're good everywhere. And they finally have good coaching, good culture everywhere. I think this team they're a contender. They're a real contender.
Hannah says Jets offensive line is suspect. My final word on the Jets is unless the ghosts have moved out, then I'm going to still count on them being the Jets. Next up, Zeke with the Pats.
Zeke landing with the Pats. This one felt like it was always going to happen for some reason. This just felt right. A lot of people were thinking he might end up in Dallas, actually. I think that was like Dallas fans kind of wishful thinking. But I don't even know that it would be better for them if they landed Zeke, because Zeke is not who Cowboys fans remember him as. He is definitely off that ledge that running backs always fall off of pretty early in their career relative to other positions. And him going to the Pats, I actually do like it quite a bit. The Pats have a lot of there's reason to believe they know how to use a guy like him. He's at this point in his career, he's very much the like LeGarrette Blount, like just we're 2 yards from the end zone. Okay,
yeah, I'm gonna punch.
Here we go. We don't have the Tom Brady guy who can sneak that in automatically anymore. If you remember those LeGarrette Blount years, I mean, he would have like 25 rushes for like 10 touchdowns and like an average carry of 2 yards. That's just what he did. He's just that old school, like 90s style, like punch it in guy. Not quite a fullback, but very much just
Blount was like really big for a running back. Is Zeke like that? Because like Blount was, what was he, like 6'4"? He was big. He was big.
I want to say, physically speaking, Zeke is still bigger than a lot of running backs. I don't know if he's quite the size that Blount was, but he runs in a more similar way, especially at this point in his career. He's kind of past all that juking nonsense and stuff. Like it's kind of like I'm going downhill and I'm still pretty strong. But he's lost a lot of burst. He's not the running back he used to be. He's kind of had the tread worn off the tires. He had a lot of reps. He's had a good career. And he's entering the golden years of his career where he needs to find like a good situation. The Pats are about as good a situation as it's going to get for him. He just needs to stay healthy on the field this year and prove that he can extend his NFL life, I think.
Yeah.
If
You're actually, your assessment is more or less accurate. LeGarrette Blount, 6 feet, 250 pounds, big boy, big body. Yeah. Ezekiel Elliott, also 6 feet, very tall for a running back, 225 pounds. So not quite as thick, not quite as big of a body, but 225, 6 feet, 225 is a pretty big boy for a running back.
Above average.
That's a power back these days. Not back in the day, but these days that's a power back.
Yeah, Three Walketeers on Playback says it's a perfect fit with Stevenson. I agree. Stevenson is going to remain the early down back and probably handle the majority of the passing work too, because Zeke isn't really known for his receiving like prowess. So it is a good pairing. I agree. And the Patriots waited out this market. They didn't probably. I don't know what the exact deal was, but I just know based on the way that the market is, they didn't overpay really for him. So
No.
it's good all around. The running backs just need to do this. They just need to start taking these deals. Josh Jacobs is the one guy kind of sitting on the outside still, refusing to sign his franchise tag tender. And he's got $10 million sitting, waiting for him to sign that thing. And he just hasn't yet. And I'm starting to really feel like it's on him now if he doesn't do it. You know,
what do you think he'll do? Do you think he won't? Like, I mean, I guess that's the craziest thing to me. It's like you got a very few years to play football, and I get it that you feel like you're undervalued, but like, do you want to spend a whole one of those years making a point? Like a whole $10 million, which is essentially over the course of his career. I don't know what he'll make, but he doesn't have a lot of like prime years as a running back.
It's just that with so many teams facing such a similar thing, you know, you still have lingering stuff going on in Indianapolis, which is a different situation because JT, Jonathan Taylor, is still under contract there. So he pretty much has to stay. But he's a guy who's like actively on the trade market. Like, and there's just not that interest in running backs on the trade market because why would you pay up, you know, draft capital and stuff for running backs? And when you acquire an asset like that using draft capital, you usually re-sign them. This is the thing that NFL teams don't want to do to running backs. So why are they going to go out and acquire a guy like Jacobs or JT? They just need to stick where they are, put the best season they can on film this year, and when they hit the open market, actually hit it like very aggressively. You're going to get one contract, boys, one big contract. That's just the way that it is for running backs. It's unfortunate for them, but I mean, this is just the way it works. I mean, this is the reality of the situation.
I'll put it this way. So it's like if I'm making a business decision, if I'm Josh Jacobs and I'm sitting here making a business decision, by the way, you just got some ice on playback. Somebody did not like that opinion. So if I'm sitting here making a business decision, I'm Josh Jacobs and I'm looking at it like, what is that big so Josh Jacobs, is he still on his rookie deal or where are we at with him? So he had rookie deal and then I think we're on the second deal right now, right? Which is 10 million sitting on the table.
Perhaps. I don't know if this is a second contract, but yeah, he's got 1 year left on his. This is a franchise tag. This is a franchise tag for him. So this is like his big rookie deal, then franchise tag.
So this is his biggest deal that he's probably going to get, you think? Or do you think he plays well this year? He actually has a shot to get like this. That will be his one big deal after this one.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. But the franchise tag makes it impossible. Like if he doesn't suit up, the contract doesn't toll. They can run this back on him, I think, is basically what happens. Plus, this 10 million that he's got waiting for him, they can take that away at any point too. So there's opportunity cost to just waiting around.
So let's say that doesn't, and you just and you're Josh Jacobs, and you say I'm going to make a point, and I'm not going to play for 10 million because I'm worth more than that. You're trying to reset the market. Okay, that's what you're trying to do. So the business decision there is like, all right, you get 10 million this year, you get the franchise tag, you play well. Or you don't play well, it doesn't matter. But like, let's say you play well. Best case scenario, you play well this year, you get your big deal next year. And what is that deal for, Casey?
It's impossible to project that right now. Oh, for just a length? Yeah, probably something like that. We're probably past the days of seeing running backs sign like 5-year deals, which is kind of like
we're talking 2 years, 3 years. We're talking probably within
it's probably 3. It's probably 3+ still, or it could be up to 5 with like 2 years that are essentially garbage at the end that they'll cut him before. You know, it's going to be something like that for sure.
Yeah, and we're talking about an order of magnitude of an estimation. Somewhere, if it's 5 years, maybe longer, but 3 years, if it's 3 years, let's say, we're talking about the order of magnitude of somewhere between 40 and 60 million over 3 years. That's the order of magnitude. I'm going to say we can't project, but like that's the zone that I'm going to say. All right. So you got probably 50 to 70 million if you just shut up and take the money, which, you know, I don't know. I get it. You know, maybe it's a Prince 50 to 70 million, something like that. Right. Are you going to reset the running back market that hard by making that point? Like, are you going to get a $70 million deal next year and like set aside the fact that they can franchise tag him again, that they can just run this back? Are you going to reset the market that hard by making this point? Or is the NFL going to be like, no, this is it. Like running backs are high risk. We can't spend that money on them. It's a big risk for like, hey, you've got a few years to make all your money. Like, look out for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
There will be exceptions to the rule in the next coming years. Like there will be teams that splurge on a running back that they just fall in love with, like that is the case. Like the Niners are paying good money to CMC, the Cowboys did it not too long ago with Zeke. They gave him a massive deal. Even at that time, that was not a smart deal on paper for a running back. And it kind of showed that too. Good teams just don't pay up, but there will be teams that have to splurge in order to land a certain type of guy. So he just needs to get to free agency. He needs to play through this franchise tag and take the best season he can, and just try to put good film out there so that he gets the best deal possible next time and make his money next offseason. Because honest to God, the running back market, as much as people want to hope and pray that it gets reset, that's not how it works. It'll get reset on the back of like a new CBA deal that the NFL negotiates. And maybe they add in some kind of like, there's a lot of talk around adding in some stipulations for running back salaries and things like that. Like percentage of the team salary needs to be spent on each different position so that they can't really do this to certain positions anymore. But
let's move on. Let's move on though. Talk to me about Trey Lance.
Do you want to talk about my last two things? We'll save the kind of
let's hit Trey Lance.
For last.
Let's hit Trey Lance pretty quick because I think you care a lot and other people care a mediocre amount.
So this is actually pretty interesting. I want everybody to know this. So you might think like Trey Lance, like Casey's just a 49ers fan. That's why we're talking about it. And that is partially true. Absolutely. Madden just got released. I don't know if you know that. It's actually officially the release date is like 2 days from now still. But if you pay like $20 extra or whatever it is, you get it 3 days
Which
early.
Casey does.
Your boy did. Your boy did. And so in a pretty like unbiased way, we got to see the quarterbacks laid out by Madden. Madden ratings are not the end all be all by any means, but it gives us some
Madden ratings are 100% accurate every time.
The San Francisco 3 quarterbacks. First of all, Madden doesn't have any of them being great. They do have Brock Purdy as the top guy, and I believe Darnold is the second, and Trey is the third. All 3 of those guys rated above Falcons starter Desmond Ridder, for example. Okay, and maybe even some other teams too. So like. This isn't, even though we're talking about probably the QB3 for the Niners, it matters. Like this is a potential trade guy. As we talk through this, I'll hit on that stuff more. But just know Trey Lance does matter for this season at least.
He deserves a starting job somewhere for sure, but I don't know if
we don't really know that yet. We don't really know that yet, but we do need to see him play in order to know more.
I would say, no, we do know that. I would say there are known entities that have starting jobs that are just not good. And that team would be better off taking a flyer on Trey Lance as a starter than whoever they have as right now.
That might be the case, but there would also be other guys in that category for like taking a flyer on. So that's kind of what that leads us into this discussion. So is Trey worth it there? So I kind of laid it out. So first of all, here are Trey Lance played half of the first preseason game for the Niners this last weekend on Sunday. Here's his stat line. And take from this what you will first. He went 10 for 15 passing, so 67% completion percentage, pretty good. 112 yards passing, so a little over about 11 yards per completion, so pretty good there too. He had 1 passing touchdown, no interceptions, so pretty good ratio there. And he had 1 carry for 2 rushing yards. Also, I believe he had 4 sacks, just to kind of hit all those things. So,
and he's mostly playing with non-first stringers, right? So these are the like, it's not like he's throwing to CMC. It's not like he's throwing to Debo or Ayuk or
playing with the second team offense, but he's also playing against second team defense. So in any scenario like this is always how you have to look at it in preseason. If there's a guy who you think shouldn't be with that unit, then he should kind of be the difference maker because it's the second team offense versus second team defense. And if he shouldn't be with the second team offense, if he should be with the first team, then he should look pretty good. And he kind of does, right? That stat line sounds great, except for these stats are really, 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 really misleading. I watched this entire game. So that's the only one I can say for last weekend. I mean, it's the freaking preseason, guys. I'm not watching every single one. But I will say I watched every snap of this game. Trey Lance looked not good, you guys. Not good. He 10 for 15, sure, okay. One of those completions, the touchdown, as a matter of fact, was a dropped interception. Just right through right off of the hands, a crazy bounce to not his intended target, who just grabs it and touchdown. Three
Walketeers said it. His touchdown was a lot of luck.
It was crazy luck. It was
luck.
it was really, really, really lucky. And there were two. If that one guy actually would have just like whiffed on the ball, I think there was another defender there who had a great shot at a interception too before the intended target could have ever caught it. That guy was never going to catch the ball. I can't remember who he was throwing to. And it was just pure luck that the other guy caught it. So really we should be kind of looking at a 9 out of 15 without a passing touchdown, which changes the entire tone, right? And I want to say that was probably like a 15-yard pass. So he doesn't eclipse 10 completions. He doesn't eclipse 100 passing yards. He doesn't get a passing touchdown. He should have an interception. There was actually another dropped interception later in the game too. That didn't end up being a completed pass, so that's already on there as an incompletion. But it's worth noting he could have easily been 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So what does this all mean is kind of where I go. Like it means, it means, yes, Trey Lance probably wasn't worth a 3rd pick in the draft a few years back. But the Niners are already out from all the capital they paid for him. So I don't need to hear about, oh, we traded the whole farm for. Who cares? What does it mean for Trey going forward? Is he in the competition for QB2 anymore? I don't know. I personally think Sam Darnold is a better fit as a backup for Brock Purdy. And the way he played, the worst thing you could say about Sam Darnold is it's like, him and Trey did about the same. Definitely one guy did not stand out more. And Trey's costing you a lot. The rest of his rookie deal, because he was number 3 overall, he's under contract for the next 2 seasons. This year for 9.3 against the salary cap, 9.3 million that is, and next year for 10.9 million. So rookie deals are pretty favorable, but as you hit these last years, especially for those early first rounders, it adds up. But if you're a team looking for, like you're saying, if you're looking for a guy to take a flyer on and you're planning on starting him, this is a great salary to be paying your starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So let's assume for a second that Trey Lance is not the QB2. John, would you be in the Niners keep a QB3 for that salary as a insurance policy? Because I mean, we know what happened last year, right?
Yeah. Trade him for. If I was looking to move him, I would want to get another QB out of the deal, right? So if I want to move him to Atlanta, then I'd want to get Desmond Ridder or their QB2 or something like that out of the deal, or to Tennessee. I'd want to get another QB out of the deal, or give myself enough space to just like sign a QB, right? So I would definitely want 3 if I'm the Niners. So yeah, I mean,
they do have a 4th guy right now. They do have a 4th guy right now, just so you know. They have 4 guys.
Yeah,
right now,
I mean,
so
maybe 4 is a good idea for them, right? So I might still be singing that same
4 last year.
Yeah,
they needed 5 actually. They ran through 4 and they needed a 5th.
That's true. Yeah. So they needed 5 last year. So, I mean, it's a little irresponsible to carry 5 QBs. Like that is it's an outlier for sure. So, but yeah, I mean, I would definitely want if I did move him, I'd want to get another QB out of it. But I would be fine with taking somebody who is going to be a QB3 that I'm not as excited about, or taking somebody who is going to be a QB4 and moving my current QB4 up to QB3. But yeah, I mean, to me, I think the obvious answer seems like yes. Like it's a lot of space, and there's some team out there that should take a flyer on this guy because they're starting some known entity that they already know isn't good. And this guy's probably he's probably more likely to be a better starter than them, or at least just as likely. And like the ceiling on him is high, right? His floor might be similar because their floor already sucks and they have a starting job. Right. And so even if he sucks, his floor is in the same place and the team sucks already. But his ceiling's high, so he could be a difference maker. So I would do that before he plays too much more, like, do you know what I mean? Like he could play more and his value could decrease, or he could play more and maybe his value could increase, I suppose. But like, I would kind of do it, now.
So here's what I think about it. I'll wrap up my thoughts, I think, pretty quickly on it before I get into where he could land if he does go somewhere. Really quickly, I think we have to stop looking at Lance as much through the potential lens, because that's been his entire NFL career so far. I could be big, and there's some of that still might be true. But at this point, yes, we want to see more of him to know more, but we have to start dealing with what we actually have seen, and it's not a huge sample size. But what we've seen is not incredible yet. You know what I mean?
No,
he's definitely not on trajectory to be this like elite QB that he could potentially still be someday. So I want to just put that on record. He's currently not worth the 9.3 this year or the 10.9 next year unless something changes. That's my piece. As a guy who likes Trey, as far as where he could land, I think there's only a few teams that would be interested in him. I think he's not shown enough. This is barring like him going out and like setting the world on fire next week or this coming weekend in the next preseason game, because he needs, make no mistake, all these preseason games are auditions for Trey Lance, the rest of the league, and for the Niners to maybe get some draft capital back out of him. But I see two teams right now, based off of what they're already doing with their roster, that I think they should at least, they're the ones who need to keep their eyes on him. Number one, I mentioned it before here on the podcast, are the Falcons. They have Desmond Ridder. Like I said, all three of the Niners QBs that are going to be on the roster as things are right now. They're
higher in Madden.
Higher in Madden than Desmond
And that
Ridder.
is law.
Not the end all be all.
No,
but
it is.
something.
It's law. Madden is law.
It is something. I think like if Desmond Ridder is shaky, you'll be happy that you had Trey Lance to pivot to over whatever their next best option is. So, and then, yeah, of course, he could set the world on fire there. And there's similar types of players. So he fits into the offense that they already are schematically trying to build. So that is the main point I want to make here. The other team I want to sprinkle this in as a new destination I think could be interested in him are the Titans. The Titans are pretty unhappy with Ryan Tannehill. If you don't remember, Ryan Tannehill was acquired from the Dolphins a few years back, and he finished out a season super hot with them as like a new quarterback for them. He immediately got signed to a new good like franchise quarterback deal, and he's pretty much disappointed more and more each year since. And he's only getting older. He's not getting better. And we've also seen, based off of their drafts lately, they drafted Malik Willis. Yeah, Willis, not Wallace. Sorry. He's an extremely mobile, extremely like physical quarterback, not tight end. So that kind of tells me the Titans are looking for a different type of guy. And we already know they have a great running game with Derrick Henry. They have a good O-line. They have very few receiving weapons on that team that are serious. They added D-Hop, but he's past his prime too. They're not a receiving team. They're a running team. Makes sense they'd look to add a quarterback who can add to that rushing attack. So in the vein of like having Malik Willis, who they have not seen a lot of great stuff from, maybe they take a chance on kind of a two-man approach with Lance and him, and they part ways with Tannehill. I can see that happening too. All that said, those are the top destinations for me. I don't think the Niners should trade him. I think the Niners should keep him on for the 9.3 this year, mostly because I think it's going to be easier to get something back next year. Because who wants to buy $20 million worth of contract on Trey Lance right now without really knowing what you're getting? Not a lot of people.
Yeah, I suppose I was like kind of assuming that you weren't necessarily talking about like right now. Like
even I wouldn't, if I were the Niners, I wouldn't trade him before the end of this season. I would trade him unless some QB needy team, because their quarterback goes down, is willing to pay through the nose for him for some reason. I would not do it. I would wait until next offseason at the earliest. And then you can deal this guy on a 1 year, basically $11 million contract. That's going to be easier for teams to swallow. Hey, he's going to expect $11 million. We'll take him in. We'll kind of spread that out over a couple of years, and we'll have him to play with as our like potential franchise guy, or like just this guy who's in a position battle. Mm-hmm. We can take that 11 million. We can offer him actually like, hey, we'll add a couple million onto that. We'll make it 14 million, but we'll give you, basically 7 million each year. So you get better value there. It'd be way harder to renegotiate a $20 million contract with Lance right now, because he's not going to take anything less than 20 million. And no matter how you chalk it up, you can't add more to the total and spread it across more years without making your team worse, without knowing you're getting the guy you actually want. So for that reason, I think it behooves the Niners. It behooves Trey Lance too, because he can find a team that's really quarterback needy in the offseason and wants to kind of build around him. And it behooves, whatever the next team is to wait so that it's best contract situation for everybody, really. That's my take on it. So I think he's staying until next year, and maybe even through his contract. You never know.
Okay. Next thing.
Yeah. Next thing. John, you've heard about this one. This guy's been in the news lately. Michael Oher. The story of Michael Oher is what we commoners know as The Blind Side, the Sandra Bullock movie from, I want to say 2009. Came out in 2009. Really popular movie in its day.
If you don't love it, you do not have a heart. That's what I'll say about it. Yeah. If you have a heart, it's an amazing movie.
If you don't know, it's basically he was a kid, essentially like living on the streets, like pretty much a homeless kid, really athletic and enormous. And
big guy.
Basically, some white lady said, like, man, I bet we can help this kid out and basically get him into football. that's essentially the movie. Go watch it. It's a good movie. But he is saying now it's all BS. It's all BS.
Oh, he
That
says the
was-
story isn't true.
No, I should be clear here. He's saying certain parts of the story are definitely true, but like the way it went down, like he's saying he was never technically adopted by them, which I'm pretty sure is in the story of the movie, that he was actually adopted. What actually happened is coming out now, which by the way, this is like 15 years later. How is it coming out now? That's part of the story as well. But he's saying he received, first of all, he received zero compensation for that movie. He never saw a nickel out of it. And he said he didn't even realize that until this year. So we'll circle back around to that. But he also said that he never officially got adopted by the family, which was also news to him like this year. He thought he always had been. Really what he did was sign a conservatorship where it was not like they just got to like use his rights and things like that. And I think he did, like, he lived with them and stuff. Like he was quote unquote like in the family, but like not legally speaking. So yeah, he feels kind of burnt by these guys, especially not receiving any money for the movie. And now his NFL career is long over, really. I think his last year in the league was like 2014 or something like that. Didn't have a long career. Yeah, and he's kind of sour about it now. Yeah, John, what do you think about this?
I mean, if you didn't get any money for this movie that came out 15 years ago, 14 years ago, and like you're just now noticing this, you're like, oh shit, I didn't get paid for that. Like how like, are you going over bank statements that are 14 years old? Like, how do you know this? Like what? Like, and when did you realize it? That is my number one thing. Look, if he's anything like they make him out to be in the movie, they definitely make him out to not be the most smart person. But yeah, it seems like, I don't know what the legal statute of limitations is here. Probably he's, like he's probably within his rights to sue him or whatever. But it seems like statute of limitations for like you should have noticed this sooner, right? Like this is not like I think, somebody uses the surgeon left a sponge in you thing. Like, yeah, this is not like that. Like you wouldn't know until you have symptoms. Like this is like, you should have known a long time ago that you did not get paid for this. So that's the first thing that I have to say about it. The second thing that I have to say about it is like, I think it's just common, honestly, that entertainers, athletes, music people just oftentimes get screwed by their teams, right? Because they have singular focus on whatever they're doing, their performance, right? So their sport or their art or whatever. And oftentimes they have teams around them to manage the money aspects, endorsements, things like that. And it's like getting screwed by those people is not a new thing at all. So, I mean, it's very believable. Like, I definitely believe that there's a chance that they kind of screwed him, I guess, if that's what he's saying. But also it's like, yeah, but that's a thing that happens a lot. Like again, there's like, that probably has happened around you. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't
reasonable take for sure.
Yeah. And I look, if he did get screwed and he didn't get paid, then I do think he should probably get paid in some, some capacity, but I also think that they deserve to get paid for it too.
So I want to add in some more context here, because I have a little bit different take, or at least I've seen some theories. I believe Oher has been on record in the past, like not just this year, in saying that he didn't love the movie because it made him look unintelligent, which I don't think he is unintelligent. You know what I mean? I think he's a pretty smart guy.
Taking 15 years to notice that you didn't get paid does not help his case for that, but okay.
Right. So here's kind of the galaxy brain move of it all is actually, because that is exactly how he stated it, is that he didn't realize this until February of this year. I actually think that might be a really smart move to say that, because it seems unbelievable that he couldn't have noticed until now. So operating under that assumption that he might have noticed before now, I think it's really smart to say that he only just discovered it recently, because that actually makes way, and maybe Adam can weigh in on this. But what I've seen in certain articles is that makes room for a legal loophole in the statute of limitations for using his rights and things like that, for this conservatorship, basically. The discovery piece of it just being recent kind of resets the statute of limitations. The way I heard it explained was like, if you heard of like a case where somebody leaves a sponge in a patient after they sew them up after a surgery, you can't, that person doesn't know they have a sponge in them, right? And they might find out 5 years later, but the statute of limitations, you can't sue for malpractice or whatever it would be that far after. But that person didn't even know. So they add in a wrinkle into such cases that like you had to have been aware. So him actually saying that he wasn't aware until this year, probably
at what point are you
benefit legally?
At what point are you liable for being aware, right? So for like a sponge left in you, you're not probably liable aware until
I don't know, but I don't
symptoms.
know that that would be. I don't know that that would be like. I don't know that that's defined as
yeah.
perfect.
Dude,
like,
if it's been like 30 years and it's like,
place to
I
be
just
on.
noticed this, you know, it's kind of like, okay, well, you should.
Well, I mean, think about the alternative too.
And I'm not talking about legally. I'm just saying, like, from a logical standpoint here, like at a certain point, you're liable for being aware, right? Like it's your fault that you aren't aware. It's not their fault that you're not aware anymore.
Right.
Really.
So like Adam has jumped in here and said,
yeah,
well, certain things told the limitations. Yes, it's when they knew or should have known the injury occurred. In this case, it's not an injury, right? It's about like the rights.
Right.
Whether or not he's going to like make anything from this, right? Like that's beside the point, really. What I'm saying is in this case, assuming he probably did know, I think it does behoove him to say that he just discovered it because it at least gives him something to stand on and he might get some kind of settlement from it because at least he can make a little bit of ruckus out of this. That's what I'm saying. If he admits that he knew right away and he was happy to sign that conservatorship, he has no legal grounding at all to stand on, right? But this actually, this one thing that puts his name back out there kind of lets people know he's definitely going to get.
I think that I mean, my real take here is
gives him
a
chance to actually make some money off of it, by hook or by crook kind of thing. Like maybe he can make something happen because it's not like that family doesn't have money. They could pay to just make it go away, even because this is definitely not their time to shine. This is making them look pretty bad.
Yeah, my on the whole thing is that it's probably just all orchestrated. It's the WWE. Like this is all planned. It's like, oh yeah, we have a roll-up plan on PR of this. We're gonna have the movie, and then she had a reality show for a little while, and then we got that, and then we're gonna let it settle for a little while, and then Big Mike's gonna come out and say that like, oh, I didn't get paid, and that's gonna bring us back into the spotlight, and like, yeah, no, I think it's all just planned. That's my take.
Maybe
that's my real take.
Could be. I think that his relationship with that family is pretty severed at this point, but that could be the case. You know, who knows?
I mean, maybe it's like we got a business relationship. You know, we got a business partnership.
Could be no matter what, especially if you've seen the movie. Again, forget that it is based off a true story or whatever, or how true it might be. It's a pretty good movie, even if you just take it as fiction. And this
now
is
we
like
get to
putting his name back out there. So
it's probably going to surge like streams of it again, surge purchases of it again, get a little bit more in that, a little bit more royalty money. Like, I mean, it's all planned, man.
Yeah,
it's all a big conspiracy.
It could be. Anyway, all right, guys, that's pretty much everything we wanted to cover today. We have, let's check the like count. I see 25 likes. That means we have one more spin to do over on Playback. We'll take care of that in just a few minutes. I want to remind everybody that there's also another giveaway exclusive to our members on Grapevine. The link to that is in the video description. So go check that out. You can win yourself an NFL jersey. Brand new, custom, your favorite player, whatever you want. So go check that out. Frog King just asked that over in Playback. So hang out in Playback for a while. We'll go over to Playback now, finish up our last spin for the day, and then come back to this video and check out that link in the video description. If you're like Frog King, get yourself signed up for Grapevine so that you can access the link in our it's in our feed there on the, for lack of a better term, in our feed on that page. You have to be a member to see it, and then you can go enter yourself into said NFL jersey giveaway. So join us over on Grapevine. But for right now, we're heading over to Playback. If you're listening to this podcast on audio platforms, please rate and review our podcast. Tell us what you think of the show. We'd love to hear it. We don't get a lot of audio, or we don't get a lot of feedback from our audio listeners because, we go live on YouTube here. So we get our feedback from these people, but not as much from the people who just listen to the audio version. We appreciate those people. We want to hear from you. Rate and review us. If you are listening or watching on YouTube, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you can show up whenever we go live, because as you see, we give stuff away live on the show and immediately following the show. So you want to be a part of that notifications gang so you don't miss out on anything. And as always, like the videos, because the more likes we get on the videos, the more stuff we give away. John, did I forget anything?
No, man. I don't think anything.
All right. Well, then,
Also,
thank
for
you
the audio
tuning in.
listeners, Casey's incredibly good looking. So, just
What's
painting
up?
the picture for you. Yeah.
What's up, boy? Come check out this face, y'all.
Yeah. It's the moneymaker.
Yeah. All right. That's going to do it today, guys. Join us over on Playback. Until next time. Peace.
Bye. Let's go.